30 seconds here until we get underway with the second of the knockout hockey games here at the European Championships in Castellón. We have a 5th versus 4th matchup here between Great Britain playing in black and Portugal playing in white. Portugal have improved throughout this tournament and could pose a sizable threat to this GB team. We'll see how they respond. Sitting out for GB, James Finnemore. Bernie Talling obviously having the match with Turkey in the next round in mind, leaving him to be fresh, who has been one of the standout performers in this competition. And we're off. James Christian leading off on the strike for GB, and he will win the puck well, but Portugal are the ones who have been turned around, and they had possession, but GB have won it back through their wing play. Moving out towards the centre, flick forward. Portugal under pressure, being moved back as Matthew Oliver, fine after his little bit of a knock yesterday, flicks the puck inwards. GB rotating on the wall. Down there is Joe Moss, and let's see what the referees call on that play there. Yeah, it looks like it. An illegal use of the free arm there by Joe Moss, the Southport player, as he, Matthew Oliver, both sub. In the water at the moment for GB. Henry Ing Simmons on the left. James Christian up top. Matthew Willis in the centre. Ali Monteith, right wing. Graham Fletcher at the back with Tom Pitchforth. Play being pushed out onto the barrier side wall. GB not allowing Portuguese to come. Portugal with a bit of size and can pack a punch, and we've got another stop here by chief referee. And that's a breaking call against GB given early in this match, and that'll be the team warning. Or it should be the team warning if it's a break. Hands go down, GB moving, trying to just recycle puck and turn them around, but Portugal posing a threat as they push further down the wall. Once again, we have moved the surface camera, so as those shots come up, let us know what you think, whether it's better where it is today or whether we should go back to having more of a full view of the pool and where it was yesterday. We'll show you those shots when appropriate. The water clarity is improving here, but we are only in the second game of the day, and we have a stoppage as GB almost broke out to the left-hand side through Henry Ing Simmons, and Portugal are just doing a good job here of rolling through this GB defence. Disciplined performance so far by the Portuguese. GB with a flat line of 4 and 2 at the back. Harry Thompson joining in on the game now. Trying to go through the GB pack, and they come away, but a stoppage on the line. So So Matthew Willis told that he was over the line. He says he didn't move, but you don't have to move if you're over the line, and he'll sit out for a minute, the first GB penalty, and this could be costly as Portugal are on the 5-metre line, GB back on their own 2. And here comes the push by the Portuguese player, the flick forward. Flick out to the side, Harry Thompson neutralising the puck there for GB. GB just need to hold it up. Matthew Oliver has a chance to release a player up in front of him. GB trying to break out of their defensive end. Harry Thompson trying to battle his way through. Not the biggest of players in this GB men's team, but very strong when he needs to be, and has an amazing fast skill set and lightning quick speed. GB with 5 in the water still as Matthew Willis gets 20 seconds left, and he'll prepare himself on the side. Portugal coming away with the puck, flicking into the bodies, trying to get the puck and turn as they're on the wall, as Carol Geiber goes in and puts in a challenge, covering at right wing. Portugal challenging on the wall, and Portugal able to come away with it now, down towards the goal, but this could be a blocking call against the Portuguese. No, it's against Portugal, but it's a stick infringement. And GB back to their full complement of 6 players now. In the order, the one at top, James Christian. Across the middle, Matthew Willis, Harry Thompson and Joe Moss. At the back, Graham Fletcher and Tom Pitchforth. Electing to go in the switch and move to the left-hand side of the pool, as your camera will see, the far side wall. Portugal trying to come down that far side wall. And another stoppage in play. And it's a stick foul against Tom Pitchforth, signal there by the referee. Again, let us know what you think of this current camera shot, because we do have capacity to move it and we want the best viewing experience for you at home for tomorrow. The drive trying to get into that central channel by Portugal. They have a chance to go through. The puck moves it to the back wall. Advantage being played by the referee as it tries to come down the back wall. Portugal think they've got a goal here. And now we've got a stoppage by the referee. He's been playing an advantage. He says there's an illegal use of the free arm, and it's going to be advantage to Portugal. So puck's going to be placed on the 5-metre line. GB change a couple of players. The front line defending this will be James Christian, Ali Monteith, Matthew Willis, Joe Moss. The back two still Graham Fletcher and Tom Pitchforth. The bodies go down. Slow taking the drive now by Portugal. Little flick trying to get it through the bodies. It comes out. Tom Pitchforth will have a job to do here, and he takes it out to the side wall. So James Christian going out to the sin bin, and he's got 2 minutes, so GB now will have to defend with 5. All the bodies down again. It's going to be a slow take, needs to be quick. He's got 5 seconds. He moves it, he touches it, trying to get the bodies out for GB. The drive through on the goal looks like it's coming out towards the far side wall. We've got another stoppage by the referee. And it's a first goal for Portugal. So after 7 minutes, we have our first goal of the match. Portugal take their time out. And now this is a very different task, because Portugal have proved throughout previous games they're able to defend along with the best of these teams here. So, 3/4 of the game still to go. André Martins with the goal. James Finnemore just talking to one of the officiating team below me to ask what the deal with these encroachments, because it's unusual to see so many encroachment penalties so far in this game. James Christian still with about 90 seconds left on his penalty clock. Portuguese coach a little annoyed that his timeout was taken so quickly. Strike won by GB. GB attempting to go straight through his team and have an instant response. Try and catch the Portuguese off guard as play moves onto the far side wall just past the halfway line. Portugal still with a man advantage as James Christian's time runs down to 1 minute. James Christian probably the most penalised player in this competition, but he's only taken a lot of these team fouls in attempt for him to go, and we've got another stoppage at the moment. Illegally knocked down, and it'll be advantage to GB. First real amount of time spent in the Portuguese half. We're waiting to see where the line is set. So the puck's on about the 7 or 8 metre line here. 30 seconds left for James Christian as Portugal defend and take the puck to the outside wall. Let's see how long Portugal can attempt to run down the game clock. They probably do need a second goal. 10 seconds for James Christian. He'll be in any moment to join the big push by GB. He won't sub, he'll go straight down to the far end of the pool, try and make an instant impact. He drops into the play now. Play still on the far side wall. The push on the goal, trying to bring it out to the middle, and this looks like it's gone in, but no. No, it's still being pushed and contained on the wall by Portugal. Last-ditch defending all the way, and now it looks like it's gone in. Goal signalled by the referee, and it's James Christian coming in from the sin bin and making an instant impact. GB now subbing in four fresh bodies. Harry Thompson, Carol Geiber, Joe Moss, Matthew Oliver, all entering the water. Tom Pitcher from Ali Monteith stay in following the goal. And now a warning being given to Portugal for an illegal substitution. So, play in the centre, GB trying to move out, nice little dummy there. But Portugal trying to come away with it once again. The flick, big flick forward. Advantage being played, now a stoppage in play. Two referees with a stop, but it's the referee on the far side of the pool. Advantage to GB, illegally stopping the puck by the Portuguese. The first Portugal goal, a bit of a wake-up call for the GB team to say we're not going to go quietly out of this competition. We have a bit of a chance. GB with another big push on the goal. Portugal containing in the corner. Portugal under a lot more pressure since they went up by that goal. GB not, even though they're getting a bit more territory, they've not quite got the control of the game. Also having the more serious foul sees them have the players penalised a little bit more often, but we'll see what happens in the coming moments as GB try and push off down the back wall and push into the goal, and there's a stoppage here by referee on the far side. And it's a penalty goal awarded to Great Britain for an illegal stop with part of the Portuguese player's body. And maybe now Portugal starting to lose a little bit of a grip on the game. A very big positive first push, but now just starting to fall behind a little bit in the game, and we'll see just how much this takes out of GB. Of course, they would play Turkey if they were able to win in this match. That game coming later this afternoon, and Turkey not having to play until then, if a round bye, as there are no 7th or 8th place teams to have a quarter-final for the two teams that finish at the top. Play coming over to the near side wall, GB in possession. Trying to go down the far side wall, Portugal break it off. GB take it off them and come over towards your cameras. Portugal just possession throwing one to the other. Portugal just a little bit slow, trying to wait for it, and then the second GB player coming in and getting a big hit on the puck to make them speed up and think about what they're doing. Really disrupting the Portuguese play, which is an excellent job by those GB's wingers. But advantage now on halfway for Portugal. GB now having to be extra cautious after having 3 minutes worth of penalty time for encroachment on advantage pucks, and we'll see just exactly what they can do as they get forced back by Portugal now. Able to move the puck off the wall there. Tom Pitchforth trying to go down the outside on the barrier side wall. Harry Thompson now takes his turn. Tom's under-24s teammate, who will play in Sheffield. Infringement against the Portuguese player. Advantage GB, and they'll get some respite. In the pool now for GB. Up top, Carol Geiber. To the right, Ali Monteith. In the centre, Matthew Willis. Out left, Joe Moss. At the back, Tom Pitchforth and Graham Fletcher. Being used in rotation a little bit more than Matthew Oliver. GB trying to move play through the central channel, trying to get a space for Carroll to stretch his legs and have a go on a swim. Not many swims in this men's elite division in some of these closer games, as all those players so on edge and able to keep up with each other. But GB managed to get down to the far side wall. Referee stoppage. Referees take a timeout, and it looks like it'll be advantage to Portugal. Portugal incurring a subbing foul. So Portugal will have the advantage puck, but they have 5, and false start. And it would have been an equal puck, but probably good for Portugal that it goes to half-time. So a half-time scoreline: Great Britain 2, Portugal 1. GB not quite managing to put the game to bed before half-time, and have to just see what the second half brings for GB, as much improvement needed to make this game a little bit more comfortable for them, as Portugal do look like they can equalise at the time.
Assuming they will last. To be honest, I'll be happy to change. You not, but you will not, but I will. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. That's not very patriotic.
And we're underway in the second half. A place in a semi-final against Turkey awaits the winner. Portugal currently trailing Great Britain by 1 goal with the score at Great Britain 2, Portugal 1. 30 seconds left for Sasha in the penalty area, as GB push Portugal right back off the strike, making use of that man advantage. The quick score before Sasha gets back in would be ideal for this GB team, but we've got a stoppage, so that's not going to be quite so possible, and Portugal delaying the game in the corner to allow for Sasha to come back in, so his time penalty will run down just enough for him to get in as soon as the puck's touched. But a good position, and GB can still make the most of this before Sasha can get in and get into a position with their advantage puck. They put the puck towards the bodies. It's Portugal who have it. It's played onto the back wall. It's going underneath for GB bats. Chance now for number 13 for Portugal to come away with the puck. Just holding it, and there's Sasha in from the sin bin. And we've had a nice back wall push, and it looks like Carol Geiber's got the goal to give GB a little bit of breathing room. So, GB with another strong start, but it's cut out of this time by Portugal. But they have a 2-goal break. Stoppage now by one of the officials. Obstruction, and it's going to be advantage to Great Britain. So Great Britain coming out, and they're going to have a comfortable push here, as Portugal now a bit more desperate. Probably Portugal wanted to hold on to that goal a little bit, that 1-goal lead a little bit more. The push down into the far corner. GB attempting to come down the back wall. Play held in the corner as Harry Thompson services. Stoppage by the referee in the middle of the pool. Encroachment by Portugal. So GB will have an advantage puck on the 5 and 2. Haven't seen if a team warning has been issued, but we'll just see. Central drive, plucked, flicked to the far corner of the goal, and it looks like Harry Thompson's got the goal, just sneaking it under the bat of the GB players. And a lot of noise from the GB fans as Harry Thompson scores. Quite a sizable group of support here for Harry Thompson, and the same can be said for Fee Maynard in the women's team. And now Portugal will take their timeout with the score at Great Britain 4, Portugal 1, and a bit more of an uphill struggle in this second half for Portugal. So, here we go, just over 10 minutes in the second half to go. GB at the moment on course to play Turkey in a men's elite semi-final at the European Championships here in Castellon. Stoppage in play. Obstruction against Portugal. Portugal, the team coming off a little bit worse in the second half with the foul count. GB doing well to come back and just gain a bit of discipline. Drive on the goal by GB, moving up into within the 5 metre line, on the back wall now. GB trying to get down the back wall. Portugal with everybody down. Then all teams bringing 3 players to the surface. GB with 5 on the surfaces, players taken into the corner. Only Henry and Simmons applying the pressure there. Play being switched around the back by GB with a drive. There's space on the far side as they move it up to the corner of the goal. It comes underneath Ali Monteith. And Portugal clear. Portugal unable to defend like this when they had the 1-goal advantage, and that's led GB take full control of this game as they lead now by 3 goals. GB just have to hold on here and keep playing their game, but still need to keep something in the tank for a very physical test with Turkey later this afternoon. A game that isn't out of reach for GB. They just need to start well and not concede early. GB with a turn on the goal and a flick towards the goal. And it's another goal awarded to Great Britain. Joe Moss with the 5th goal for this Great Britain team. And that one should surely put this game to bed with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. GB again off the strike, bring it over to the far side wall. I think the tactic here to keep it well away from the Portuguese subs bench so they can't get the rotations in and get those fresher players. Less than 8 minutes now remaining in the half. Portugal with an advantage puck, trying to play their way out of their own defensive third. Managing to do so on the wall, but the puck breaks to the middle. It's GB with the puck, trying to wriggle in and stay within the central channel. Drive to the goal, 1-on-1 with the last defender, but Portugal come away with it and they'll swim across their own goal tray to try and get to the corner, but the corner move is cut out well by GB. GB with a chance to come to the near side corner. On the puck, Matthew Willis flicking inside, but Portugal cut it out. Possibly an illegal stop here by the Portuguese. Illegal use of the free arm by GB, and they will get pushed back. GB in the centre of the pool, moving with the puck, trying to get through the space on the outside. Play coming into the far side corner, but play stopped. Obstruction against Great Britain. Never to mind though for GB, as the clock will just continue to run down. Less time for Portugal to score. To win, Portugal would need a goal a minute at this rate. GB look like they'll hold strong. 4 going down for GB. Matthew Oliver, the man out the back. On Overwatch. He goes down now as Portugal begin a little advance. Matthew Oliver stops the move, puts the puck back on the wall. Portugal tried to recycle, but it's GB making a play and a move down the wall. Still a chance for GB to go down near side wall. Trying to break in on the 45. In towards middle. Players waiting for GB if they can get the puck through. The puck played onto the back wall. Portugal desperately trying to get it out to the corner. But GB just too strong. And it looks like Henry Ing-Simmons with the 6th goal of the match. And the face-off win for GB, but Portugal regain possession as Harry Thompson subs straight after the strike. Play coming to the far side wall. Matthew Willis getting in for GB. Drive down the centre of the pool, some space to swim for once for GB. Trying to move around, but the skill not coming off there for Portugal, and still some space to swim. The flick cut out by Torto. Portugal trying to bring the puck out wide. Joe Moss with a chance to flick it into the centre. Flicks it straight to a Portugal bat though, and then brings it out wide. Stick infringement by Portugal. Three minutes and 30 for GB. Play being made down the centre of the pool. Big push. Now play going out towards the far side wall, but GB keep it in the central channel and bring it back inside. Bodies down for GB as the push is in on the goal, and this will be a 7th goal for Great Britain, really putting this game to bed. But no, it's signalled as no goal, illegally advanced into the goal, and GB will have 3 minutes to just run out the clock in the best way that they can. Two and a half minutes left in the second half. Great Britain's game against Turkey will be far later in the afternoon. We've got 2 one-hour breaks here in Castellon. And just waiting to see as they come. The next action for us will be France versus Turkey in the women's semi-final, and that will be followed by Great Britain versus Spain in what is going to be a very close game. And the referee signalled this might be the 7th goal. Matthew Willis. No, Joseph Moss getting that one. 7 was signalled by one of the referees, 8 by another. And time will continue to roll down. So please join us for that very, very crucial match for GB playing Spain in the semi-final, and then by then we'll have the time, if not on the website at underwaterhockeyscores.com, for the GB match against Turkey. Play still on the far side wall, just being held. GB starting to just ease off a little bit, not have to quite work for everything that they've got with the commanding lead. 1 minute and change left in the second. Play still advancing towards the Portugal goal. GB managed to get into the central channel. but there's a noticeable increase of players on the service for GB. Drive still going in towards the goal, but play coming out back under. Tom Pitcher flicks the puck back into the centre. Portugal stop it through the second phase. The flick out wide, but a stoppage. Clock stops with 30 seconds to go. Obstruction, and Harry Thompson takes a seat on the wrong penalty area to start with. The Thompson family resemblance being kept up. Father Phil knows that spot all too well, and Harry will finish the remainder of this game out on the side. And another stoppage by the referees here. Clock stops on 14 seconds to go. Obstruction signalled. Advantage Great Britain, and it'll be 5-on-5 hockey as number 11 for Portugal slowly makes his way out of the pool. Final push by GB, getting close to the goal, and it looks like the 8th goal will count because it went in before the buzzer went, and Henry Simmons makes it Great Britain 8, Portugal 1. And then the referee signal for time comes. So the final score in the men's quarter-final, Great Britain men 7, Portugal 1. They'll play Turkey later in the afternoon with a real chance of making the European final for the second time in a row. They will have to get past Turkey, who beat them in that